Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of August 21. So today we are going to discuss the topics of essay forms task force to ensure doctor safety. Next, India, Japan, conduct 2+2 dialogue with focus on Indo-Pacific. So these both comes under GS2 paper. This topic comes under social justice and this under international relations. Next, on the ethanol blending program, which comes under GS3 paper under environment. Next, abundant inflation targeting could be counterproductive. So, which comes under GS3 Indian economy. Next, Miyawaki method. So, we have to know this under the terms. Next, editorial analysis, and finally we'll be seeing the international organization topic. So today our first topic is about essay farms task force to ensure doctor safety. First of all, we have to know why it is in news. The Supreme Court on Tuesday constituted a national task force to work out the modalities of safety measures for medical professionals. The NTF will recommend security measures on hospital premises infrastructure development, including separate restrooms, technological interventions to limit access to critical hospital areas, CCTV camera, provision of night transport, counseling services, crisis workshops, quarterly safety audits, and enhanced police presence in hospitals. So, with this, we have to know about the extra news which have been added to this topic. A three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachand, explaining why the court had taken suo motu cognizance of the rape and murder of a junior doctor at the state-run RG Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata, said the case laid bare the systematic failure in providing safety to medical professionals. There is a virtual absence of safety for doctors, especially young women doctors. They have 36-hour shifts. We need a national protocol for safe conditions of work for doctors and medical personnel. It is not that every time there's a rape and murder, the conscience of the nation is one. We need a protocol, not just on paper, but to be actually implemented, Chief Justice Chandrachand said. Next, we have to know about suo motu cognizance. So, about suo motu cognizance, first we have be seeing suo motu cognizance. In law, the term suo motu cognizance refers to the court authority to hear cases on his own initiative without any formal complaint of petition being submitted by any party. Based on information obtained from media reports, letters, or any other reliable source, the court starts the procedure on its own. Next, the constitutional provisions. According to Article 32 and 226 of the Indian Constitution, the Supreme Court and the High Courts in India have the ability to take suo motu cognizance of cases. The Supreme Court is given the authority to issue writs for the enforcement of basic rights of Article 32, and the High Courts are given the same authority of Article 226 within their respective spheres of jurisdiction. Next is so, public interest litigation, a procedure that enables people or social activists to approach the court on behalf of the public interest, is frequently linked with suo motu cognizance. This idea has increased the scope of judiciary's involvement in issues of social justice and public concern. Next, the judicial activism. Suo motu cognizance is regarded as an example of judicial activism in which the judge takes proactive measures to solve pressing concerns that could otherwise go ignored or neglected. By taking on such cases, the courts hope to guarantee the prompt and effective administration scope. Next, the instance where suo motu cognizance is taken. So it's taken in some instance such as contempt of court, order prop for a new course, order prop for a new case, reopen of old closed cases. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about India-Japan contact 2+2 dialogue with focus on Indo-Pacific. The India-Japan partnership is set against a larger context of free, open, and rules-based Indo-Pacific, and it will be continued to grow. External Affairs Ministers S. Jaishankar said on Tuesday as both sides held fresh edition of 2+2 dialogue amid China increasing military muscles flexing in region. So with this we have to know about 2+2 ministerial dialogue. The 2+2 ministerial dialogue is the diplomatic summit held annually since 2018, initially between India and US. So it later expanded to include Japan, Australia, Russia, and the United Kingdom. The dialogue involves the foreign and defense minister of participating countries and focuses on strengthening bilateral relations and addressing common concerns. The dialogue replaced the strategic and commercial dialogue during 2017 between PM Narendra Modi and the President Donald Trump. First summit was held on September 6, 2018. So between India and the US in New Delhi involving discussions on defense partnership and strategic cooperation. Now what are the key priorities of the Indo-Japan 2+2 dialogue? So the key priorities are update security cooperation, promote a free Indo-Pacific, promote a free Indo-Pacific, engage in strategic talk, addressing regional security, coordinate Quad efforts. So these are the key priorities of the Indo-Japan 2+2 dialogue. So with this we have the UPSC mains question which have been asked in 2020. Quadrilateral security dialogue Quad is transforming itself into the trade bloc from military alliance in present time. Discuss. So you can practice on this question. Our next topic is about on ethanol blending program. So first we have to know about the news. India is progressing towards its 20% ethanol blending target by 2025 to 26, marked by increased production and capacity. However, concerns about food security arise due to rising maize imports and water storage for sugarcane. Balancing ethanol production with these challenges remains a key issue in policy discussions. India aims to blend 20% ethanol with petrol by 2025 to 26, with progress and marked by milestones in blending percentage and increased ethanol production capacity. Next, food versus the fuel debate. The food versus fuel equation remains a concern as increased ethanol production has led to a rise in maize imports due to its use in ethanol production, exacerbated by restrictions on using sugarcane products. The industry argues that India has sufficient food grains and sugar surplus, but concerns about potential wastage and spoilage due to large food stocks are noted. To address food security and sustainability issues, there is a call to diversify from first generation, that is 1G ethanol to second generation and third generation ethanol, which are less impactful on food resources. Next, ethanol production capacity and investment. To measure the 20% of blending target, significant investments have been made in ethanol production. The sugar industry alone has invested approximately rupees 40,000 crore in expanding capacity, with 92 crore liters of new capacity added into 2 years. The current ethanol production capacity has nearly reached the target, but with high proportion of sugarcane based ethanol. Next, the government policies and production dynamics. Interest subvention programs have supported the expansion of ethanol production capacity. There is industry demand for extending these programs and securing long-term contracts with oil marketing companies to maintain momentum and to create surplus capacity. The diversification of sugarcane products to ethanol production has led to restriction on the use of B-heavy molasses and sugarcane juice, which could affect sugar stocks. Next, water usage and sustainability concerns. Expanding sugarcane production to meet ethanol blending targets requires significant additional water. To sustain 50% of 1,000 crore liters from sugarcane, an extra 40 billion liters of water would be needed, potentially impacting agriculture sustainability by diverting irrigation from essential food crops. So, to compensate for restriction on molasses, grain-based distilleries, primarily using maize, have been operating at full capacity. Next, the economic and agricultural impact. India, a major maize producer, faces increased maize imports and potential price hikes due to diversion of maize for ethanol production. So, this could negatively affect the poultry sector and other major uses of maize. Next, the vehicle performance and the state level impacts. The ethanol blending is expected to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and save foreign exchange while also boosting the rural economy. Higher ethanol content may affect the performance of existing vehicles, which may require engine returning or changes E20 supported materials. Different states use the ethanol policy differently. In some states, pure ethanol pricing and its impact on liquor production determine the attractiveness of ethanol production. For instance, some states focuses on maximizing ethanol output from sugarcane while others consider alternatives like maize. So our next topic is about, sorry, before that we could see the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2020. According to Indian national policy on biofuels, which of the following can be used as raw materials for production of biofuels? Cassava, damaged wheat grains, groundnut seeds, horse gram, rotten potatoes, sugar beet. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So here the answer is A, that is 1, 2, 5 and 6. Cassava and damaged wheat and rotten potatoes and sugar beets are used. So our next topic is about abandoning inflation targeting could be counterproductive. So we have to know why it is in use. The Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI inflation targeting regime, has worked well, and abandoning it for a more discretionary regime could be risky and counterproductive. Two economists have argued a new research paper. The authors of the paper titled Inflation Targeting in India. A further assessment said the weight of food price inflation in the CPI inflation basket should be reduced to better reflect of the circumstance Indian households. Next, what is inflation targeting? So it has been 3 decades since inflation targeting was first adopted in New Zealand and subsequently 33 other countries. India adopted this in 2016. So the primary goal of the inflation targeting was contain inflation at around 4% within allowable range to of 2 to 6%. The RBI has announced a formal review of the policy instrument now at the first meeting of the RBI Monetary Policy Committee in October 2016. It was also formally announced that the MPC considered real repo rate of 1.25% as neutral real policy rate for the Indian economy. By a neutral real policy rate, the RBI meant a policy rate consistent with growth at potential, that is, growth of full employment. Next, the three stands of RBI under inflation targeting. They are first, accommodative, neutral, and third is hawkish. So what are the effectiveness of inflation targeting? So the effectiveness is first the success. The average inflation has declined, CPI decline and enhanced transparencies are seen. The failures are sole focuses on inflation and not much effective in India. Next, we have to see about the cost of inflation targeting in India. There are also costs of inflation targeting in India. It led to higher real policy rates in the mistaken belief that high policy rates affect the price of food, oil, or anything else, but high real rates affect economic growth by affecting the cost of domestic capital in its ultra competitive world. It is very likely not to be coincide that potential GDP growth as acknowledged by RBI was reached just before the MPC took over the decision making in September 2016. Since then, there was a steady increase in real policy rates and steady decline in GDP growth. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question, mains question, which have the practice for you. Consider the question: how far has the inflation targeting mechanism been successful in India? Give reasons in support of your argument. So you can practice on this question. So our next topic is about Miyawaki method. So the Chhattisgarh Forest Department recently organized one Mahotsav program in the Manindragrad Chirmeri Bharatpur, that is MCB district, by planting saplings using the Miyawaki method. It is a method of afforestation developed by Japanese botanist and plant ecology expert Professor Akira Miyawaki. It involves planting 2 or 4 types of indigenous trees with every square meter. Due to the dense planting, the seedlings grow quickly as they compete for sunlight. Only native species that would occur naturally in that area without humans, given the specific climate conditions, are planted. The selection species of to the plant given area was originally linked in the theory potential natural vegetation. In other words, the vegetation that would occur in the specific or without future human interference. This forest grew 10 faster and 38 denser and contain 100 more biodiversity. They are quick to establish maintenance free after the first 2 to 3 years and can be created on sites as small as 3 square meter. So this forested viable solutions for cities looking at rapidly built climate resilience. It is effective because it is based on natural reforestation principles, using trees native to the area and replicating natural forest regeneration process. So with this, we have the prelims question which have been asked in 2014. So consider the following pairs. They gave program or project and the ministries. Drought prone area program, Ministry of Agriculture. Desert development program, Ministry of Environment and Forest. And National Watershed Development Areas, Ministry of Rural Development project for rain-fed areas. Which of the above pairs is correctly matched? So the answer is D. None of them are correctly matched. So next we'll be seeing the editorial analysis. Our editorial analysis topic is a ground plan for sustainable mass employment. So first we have to know about the contest here. The Indian government has announced a substantial rupees 2 lakh crore package for employment aimed at creating opportunities for 4.1 crore youth over the next 5 years. This ambitious initiative aligns with recommendations from the Economic Survey emphasizing the need for private sector job creation. So the discussion around sustainable employment with dignity highlights the challenges of low wages, the effectiveness of skill programs, and role of state intervention. So next, the current challenges and need for declaration action are: the current challenges are wage concerns, skill program effectiveness, skill program effectiveness, state and local role, state and local role. Next, the proposed policy initiatives are: community-based skilling. Next, integration of service. Next, vocational education. Next, enhancing the skill development and support. So in this we could find standardization and infrastructure, enterprise skills in schools, and also apprenticing models. Next, low wages and short-term skill programs in the long-term sustainability. So with this we have low wages led to economical insecurity. The short-term skill programs fail to enhance the employability and also the stagnation of workers' productivity. Then the lack of investment, long-term skill development, and the perpetuation of poverty and inequality also seen under this. Next, what are the 12-point policy initiatives for sustainable mass employment? So the 12 points are: identify the skill need. Next, initiative at local level, initiative at local level, vocational programs, Next, healthcare at international benchmark. International benchmark. Next, women security. Invest in skill development. Invest in skill development. Next, startup skills in high school. Startup skills in high school. Next, apprenticeship program in industry. Next, absorption of youth at workspace. Absorption of youth at workplace. Capital owned for women. Capital owned for women. Skill acceleration program. Skill acceleration program. Next, majority of fund in water scarce blocks. So these are the 12 point of policy initiatives for sustainable mass employment. So our next topic is about international organization. Under that we are going to see the African Union today. So it is a continental body consisting of 55 member states that make up countries of the African countries. It was officially launched in 2002 and replaced its predecessor, the Organization of African Unity, that is OAU, which was founded in 1963. The primary objective of this is to promote unity, cooperation, and development among African nations while the advancing continent's interest on the global stage. The AU is guided by the vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in a global arena. To ensure the realization of its objectives and the attainment of the Pan-African vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, Agenda 2063 was developed as a strategic framework for Africa's long-term socio-economic and integrated transformation. Agenda 2063 calls for greater collaboration and support for African-led initiatives to ensure the achievement for aspirations of African people. The headquarters is located in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The structure we have to see. First, under the structure, we'll be seeing the assembly. So it is the highest decision making body consisting of the heads of state and government member countries. Next, the executive council. So made up of foreign affairs ministers, handles policy matters and makes recommendations to the assembly. Next, AU commission. So headquartered in Addis Ababa is the administrative arm responsible for implementing the decisions of the assembly and executive council. Next, the peace and security council. So responsible for maintaining peace and security on the continent, the AU structure promotes the participation of African citizens and civil society through the Pan-African Parliament and Economic, Social and Cultural Council, that is ECOSOCC. So that's all from today's topic. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been given in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.